This is the point in the year that I start to look out for some signs of development. I do want to be clear. I don't see anything developing right now, but it's my job behind the scenes, and thank you for taking the time to subscribe as we get into the hurricane season. It's my job to really try to find stuff out there. Hopefully I'm not finding a whole lot, just to help keep everyone prepared. That's what this channel is about. Now, what I'm seeing here, and again, the hurricane season starts just over 30 days away, so on June 1st, and sometimes you get something developing before the start of the hurricane season. Right now we have a lot of moisture still pulling into parts of the eastern Caribbean, and then I'm going to watch this area out here in the eastern Pacific. The eastern Pacific side, that's where the hurricane season starts on May 15th. It starts sooner because of those water temperatures. So let's dissect a few things. First thing is looking ahead into May. This map here, where you see the yellows, that's where we're going to be a little bit drier than average. Where you see the greens, that's where we're going to be wetter than average. Doesn't mean we're going to get a ton of rain, but we are going to have above average rain totals for a lot of us as we get into May right across the Caribbean, and that does raise my attention a little bit. One, for the prospect of some flooding in areas, but two, for the potential of some tropical development. You need to obviously have moisture to have things develop tropically, but we'll wait and see on that. But above average rain for much of the Caribbean as we work our way into the month of May. Now we get a look at the water temperatures. You see a little bit of blue in here. That would be below average water temperatures, but for the most part, you see some of these reds and oranges popping up across the Atlantic basin, which includes the Gulf, Caribbean, and the Atlantic, including the Bay of Campeche right through here, generally above average water temperatures. So extra moisture in May that I just showed you, and above average water temperatures, and that could lend itself to some early season development. No signs of that at this time. I want to take you way out in time in just a second. Here's a look at some of those water temperatures, and you kind of get a feel of them. They are warming across the Caribbean, but of note, even warmer as you get into the eastern Pacific side. That is why the eastern Pacific's hurricane season starts earlier. So I am going to continue to monitor this, and that's why I'm already kind of taking a look at things to see if anything down the road may try to pop up before June 1st, which is the official start of the hurricane season. So let's go way out in time here and go deep into May. So we have some of that rain that's going to be nearby for some of us today. I'll break that down. I'll zoom down in a second across the U.S. Another chance of flooding and severe storms. And then watching this area in the eastern Pacific, as I just said, water temperature is very warm out here, and that's where the hurricane season officially starts a bit sooner. Now let's zoom out in time here. We're going to go into next week. So we're looking here, this is April 30th as we get into the end of the month. Similar setup. We have these fronts that are working by still this time of year. You get those big fronts across the U.S. coming toward Bermuda. But as we get down here, watching this area as we work our way back toward the Pacific side, what I'm seeing as we get into the middle of May is that we may get a surge of moisture riding through the Caribbean. Watch what happens here as we go deeper out in time. This here is by the time we hit May 7th. Now, this is going to change some. Of course, this is way down the road. This is a computer model, but it gives me a feel of kind of areas to keep an eye on. Look at some of the rain building near Jamaica, Cayman Islands, over toward Cuba and the Bahamas, and then you see that little surge of rain right there turns into a big surge of rain, right? This is by the time we hit May 8th. Now, I'm not seeing this necessarily spinning up into a tropical depression or anything like that, but it is an area to watch, kind of has my attention. It also is telling me, even if this computer model isn't exactly right down the road, correct as we get down the road, it is telling me that we are about to get more of this pattern change as we get into the hurricane season. So watching this area into the southern sections, kind of the southwestern sections of the Caribbean, over toward the Pacific, not necessarily for development, but more in the way of buildup of rain and these surges of moisture that may come our way. And some of the fronts still in the U.S. may grab these areas, but you see it yourself watching a couple spots, just kind of keeping an eye on a couple areas as we get deeper into the May, just to see if we have any signs of development out of this. Again, being very clear, I'm not seeing any signs at this point of a tropical storm or something like that popping up. But as we work our way into May, there's going to be more and more areas just to keep an eye on, just to watch together. And I'll give you a far advanced warning, obviously if we have a name system, but even if we just get some flooding. We know we don't need a name system in the Caribbean Caribbean and many other spots to cause issues with the flooding. Now, 2 sets of names. Now, this is the Atlantic Basin, so the Caribbean, the Gulf, and the Atlantic. Andrea's the first name on the list, then Barry. You get down toward Imelda, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, Melissa, Nestor. That's so the first name on the list will be Andrea. That's the list of names that we have for the upcoming hurricane season. You may see some familiar ones. They cycle every 6 years. We come back to the same list unless a name is retired, and there's organization out there that adds in some new names. Now, on the Eastern Pacific side, I mentioned the season starts earlier, May 15th on the Eastern Pacific side. Alvin's the first name. So if you hear maybe in sometime in May that Alvin pops up, it's not necessarily on the Atlantic side. It would be on the Eastern Pacific side. So again, there's 2 sets of names, 2 different basins, if you will. Alvin, Barbara, Cosme, Dahlia, as we work our way, Eric, as we work our way down the list of names. Now, looking closer, watching the rain, and then I want to kind of zoom up as well. You could see this moisture feed that I've been talking about now for about 2 weeks, and that did happen. That is in place. Some of us have had some welcome rain, some of us a little bit too much in spots. Others we've been too dry, noting some thunderstorms near Guatemala and parts of Mexico right in through here, and still generally active Costa Rica and Panama. There will be flooding, especially interior sections of Venezuela and Colombia, still today with some additional rain. So here's some of that rain near Guadalupe, Martinique, Dominica, seeing some of that rain. Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, better chance of getting rain. Right in through here, Jamaica, Haiti, Turks and Caicos. Jamaica, we did have some showers yesterday in some spots. We're going to start to get more into kind of a thunderstorm pattern, summertime pattern, where we get some passing showers, scattered thunderstorms you see in the Dominican Republic as we work our way in through the day tomorrow, and then some of that extra rain right in through here may even clip us by in the ABC Islands with some showers. Not as much St. Lucia, Barbados, kind of cutting off through this weekend. Trinidad, still some spotty showers, but just not a high chance. Grenada, St. Vincent, the Grenadines. But on Sunday, isolated thunderstorms to scattered thunderstorms around as we really heat up. A lot of us are baking, and then here's some of that rain that I'll just monitor on the Eastern Pacific side as we go forward. Here's some of the big picture stuff. Look at this large system. Canada back through the U.S., some flooding, some severe weather, some gusty, strong winds embedded in this, isolated tornado risk as well. And then you could see another frontier that pulled that spin that I talked about kind of working away. As we work our way into tomorrow, still along the eastern seaboard of the U.S., New England, back through the Atlantic region of Canada, a few inches of rain, 75 millimeters of rain will be possible. A little bit of snow trying to squeak in on the backside through the day on Sunday. This continues to work through Newfoundland over toward the Avalon Peninsula, and then more fronts riding through the U.S. as we work our way into next week. Now look at the seas. Some of us are doing okay, some of us not so much. With the spin that's departing, we have these swells working in, so near the Bahamas, and even as you get toward the Atlantic passageways coming out of the Eastern Caribbean, that's where it's going to be a little bit choppier as we work our way into the weekend. This here is on Saturday, same thing. You see a couple meters here, couple meters here, watching really the Atlantic waters. This here is on Sunday, looking better, Caribbean and the Gulf. The Atlantic, that's where things are going to be a bit choppy or a bit rougher. Now, as far as the rain totals go, little hard to exactly pinpoint because some of us are going to see some of those thunderstorms. Some of us may get them, some of us won't. Bahamas, we don't have a lot. Cuba will start to get a few thunderstorms. We may see a couple more isolated showers or thunderstorm. Cayman Islands and Jamaica. Jamaica, we're going to start to get a few more scattered showers and storms. Same thing, Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And we could get some downpours. If we get some downpours, we'll have over 75 millimeters of rain or 3 inches of rain for parts of the Dominican Republic. Scattered storms possible. Puerto Rico, back through the British and U.S. Virgin Islands, some showers as well. Be mindful of that with any interest outdoors in case we have any lightning around, but we could get a couple inches of rain or 50 millimeters of rain in spots. And still today, that moisture feed around. So Antigua, Barbuda, back through Dominique, even Martinique, best chance of getting upwards of about 50 millimeters of rain or 2 inches of rain. So some additional rain still hanging around today with that moisture feed I showed you. Not as much Trinidad, Grenada, on the edge of it, St. Vincent, the Grenadines, Barbados, an isolated shower, but St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, better chance of some of the rain. And then you see some scattered amounts, Guyana, Suriname, interior Venezuela, and Colombia. That's where we'll have higher totals. I mentioned the flooding. You see it right there. Some spots for the next 3 days are going to get 150 millimeters of rain or 6 inches of rain. And monitoring the buildup of some moisture on the Pacific side near Costa Rica and Panama. There's that spot in Guatemala where we have some of the rain already today. Not as much Belize and Honduras. We could surely use some rain in much of Mexico. And then watching these systems up toward the U.S. that could produce anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain with some thunderstorms moving by. So you see in Jamaica, some of us stay dry, others we get a passing shower or a thunderstorm, a 40% chance today, and we'll be up to a 50% chance tomorrow, 30% chance today across the Cayman Islands, and we could get a few showers around at times, no washout, but as we work our way into the weekend, a 30 to 40% chance will hold, 40% chance today in Trinidad and Tobago, and you see how it goes down for us, just more isolated this weekend, a 30% chance, same thing in Barbados, a 20% chance of a shower. That's it as we get into the weekend. So the rain chance starting to drop off. St. Lucia, 30 to 40% chance, though, of some scattered showers. 40% chance today in Grenada, but we're down to a 20% chance for tomorrow. 40% chance today, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, dropping off some, but still a couple isolated showers this weekend. And the next 2 days in Martinique, about a 40 to 50% chance. There is that moisture around today, and still watching out for some scattered showers today in Dominica. Rain chance dropping off slightly as we get into the weekend, but a good 50% chance of some rain in Guadeloupe for today. And we're looking at a 60% chance Antigua and Barbuda. I'll be watching your comments, dropping off to a 40% chance this weekend. The next 2 days, St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat, we're on the edge of some rain, scattered areas of rain, and there's that 60% chance for today. Anguilla and St. Bart's, and a 50% chance for tomorrow. 50% chance today, St. Martin, Saba, and Statia. 40% chance tomorrow, and a 30% chance on Sunday. And then you see here in Puerto Rico, it's going to build some. That's because of the daytime heating, the fronts to the north. We'll get some scattered areas of rain and storms. 50% chance the next couple of days, British and U.S. Virgin Islands. Watching out for some scattered storms. Bahamas, our rain chance is low. Turks and Caicos staying on the low side. Central, southern Bahamas back through the Turks and Caicos. Isolated showers. Scattered thunderstorms, though. Isolated areas of flooding in the Dominican Republic, and some scattered thunderstorms possible in Haiti as we work our way into the weekend. I'll monitor those rivers. Belize, as I mentioned, we've been on the dry side. We've had a couple little showers around, but we have not had a whole lot overall. Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire with some of that moisture near Venezuela. We're looking at about a 30% chance of some passing showers, 50% chance today in Guyana, then it will be dropping off some, in a 40% chance the next couple of days in Suriname before it bumps up again on Sunday. Cuba, this is mainly scattered storms favoring our eastern end, about a 30 to 40% chance. Costa Rica, Panama, 40 to 50% chance as we slide through the weekend. Isolated shower possible in Nicaragua in the next couple of days in Honduras. For the most part, we're dry. May see a shower or two in a few spots. Guatemala, as I showed you this morning, even parts of El Salvador closer to the water, closer to the Pacific, that's where we have a better chance of rain. Not as much interior sections. Straight chance of a shower or storm near Mexico City, staying on the low side as well across the Yucatan Peninsula over toward Merida. The rain chance stays low. Northern Colombia, 50 to 60% chance of rain. You go south, heavy rain, heavy flooding, same thing as we work our way into northern Venezuela, and at least the next couple of days in Bermuda, overall looking good before that next front starts to get closer as we work our way into Sunday. So areas of rain on the move, isolated flooding, watching those rivers. Even if we start to see, say, the Dominican Republic, some extra showers and storms building up over the same spots, or maybe some mudslides, some rock slides, I'll watch that. Watching the volcanic ash as we get back toward Poas, the volcano just to the north of San Jose in Costa Rica. And we're getting close to hurricane season, and you know, based on this video, that I'm watching everything out there, just 37 days away from the start of hurricane season on the Atlantic side, even sooner on the Eastern Pacific side. I hope you're doing well. Have a wonderful Friday ahead.